Hey guys, Jumper here. A lot of you often come by my stream and ask me, how do I deal with Mesmers as a thief? Well, with the help of Kirmora, Team Paradigm NA, let me show you just how to do that. Now usually you shouldn't even attempt assaulting a Mesmer's point, as it's just more effective. To pop Mesmer's portal, you back to wherever your team needs you for a 5v4 advantage for roughly 90 seconds while his portal recharges. However, should the need arise, through this video, I'll try my best to prepare you for that situation. First off, I'll show you guys a good example of how this matchup should be played. Mesmer comes through the portal and opens with a stun, throws out an illusionary leap, and I shatter that away to avoid the blurred frenzy and shatters that follow. Use black powder to blind most of the clones, and then heartseeker through it for stealth. Using an Aegis buff, I auto attack to clear it, dodge to illusionary warlock's attack, pop off thief cluster mobs. He hits me with an illusionary leap again, and I use sharp up 3 to evade most of the damage. I heal, immobilize him, then kill the illusionary duelist with the cluster bomb, and then notice he dodges with less than 50% health remaining. With that opportunity, I immediately swap the dagger pistol and heartseeker plus steal for the KO. Here's an example of what can happen when you swap the melee too early. Mesmer pops into the portal, I catch him with an auto massive venom as he blinks back with his staff. I leap through the black powder for stealth, swapping sharp bow, I immobilize the cluster, which he then counters with distortion. I was too slow to dodge the illusionary leap and forced the shatter to the battle of the blurred shatter. I avoid most of the damage and swap to melee forgive as he heals with distortion. I get dazed and try to keep up the pressure with steel. Still dazed and unable to heartseeker, I eat a full mine rack and take roughly 11,000 damage. Luckily, I had a rock dog out and was able to win that fight. Always beware of illusionary leap. If you're too slow to react, full blurred frenzy can do up to half your health, while the remainder will drop mine rack. This time, the Mesmer leads with blurred frenzy. He following black powder and heartseeker for stealth as he hits a stun. I cluster off the main clone, gain some distance, and dodge the illusionary leap. I failed to avoid most of the mine rack damage, but that's okay. I heal, root, and close the Mesmer while he heals, and dodge the 2 clones he sends at me with sharp over. I then swap the melee for the kill. As a final note, in downfight versus Mesmer, look out for the illusionary rogue. With the downstate 2 ability, you can avoid the initial attack if you react quick enough. Try to keep these tips in mind while playing. Try to dodge the illusionary leap. This sets up most of the Mesmer's damage. Sharp bow 3 or shadow step away if you do get hit by it. Always keep distance from Mesmer and dodge through the clones or cluster bomb them. And try to only swap to melee when you're confident you can burst him down when he's under 50% health or lower and lacks the endurance to dodge.